Okay, is everybody here? Everybody's here. Everybody's here, I think. Have you had enough party chicken? I think it's incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible. If you haven't looked up the party bird, the party chicken, I suggest it because that's just gold right there. Also, I have the Chick-a-Pig with me to read books with. So today we're reading with the Chick-a-Pig. Party chicken, y'all. Anyways, hi guys. Let me get this started here because I haven't figured out how to integrate all this stuff yet because I am not tech savvy. I don't know if anybody knows that about me or not. Anyways, so we'll turn down the music a little bit. I'm not sure where everybody can hear it, but I think around 25 was good. Anyway, hi! Welcome to another installment of Stephy, drunk, in costume, and reading books. I am drinking some nice Cabernet today. Plenty of it, keep it coming. I have my trusty friend, the Chick-a-Pig, here with me. And I will be reading some books. And for all of you who has been playing along, apparently, with the impromptu drinking game of drinking every time that I mess up the words, you're going to have fun today because I have one last Dr. Seuss book to hide the fact that I have no idea what I'm saying, and one pop-up book, 3D, y'all. So we're gonna do that today too. I don't know if anybody tuned in last Sunday. I think it was. We had our little disco tech going on back here. I don't know if you can see that. I got the party lights going. And they change colors and they do all kinds of fun things in the background. You can see all the, you know me. Come on, I have to have all the lights. I am once again roasting in a costume for your viewing pleasure. This week, I have chosen the German costume. Uns Party, ja. I don't have a beer stein. Sorry. Don't know where one is. And I'm just drinking wine because I'm allergic to hops and can't have beer anyways. But anyways, it is the German costume. So this is my beer wench costume and my glowing wreath for my hair for your viewing pleasure. Woo! It is hot in this thing. Shall we get to it? Okay. Let's read the first book in our selection. Is everybody here? I can't see. Is everybody say hi, wave, love you, share with your friends, because you should torture them as much as you torture yourself watching me drunkenly read books. Because it's me or God knows what. Okay. Is the music good? Is it too loud? Can somebody just write in the comments if the music is too loud? Anybody? Is the music too loud, or can you hear me? Anyone? One comment, guys. I just need one comment to know that the music is okay. Anyone? Anyone? Can you tell me if the music's too loud? I'm just going to assume it's fine. Okay. Well, we're going to start with a book that has some tape on it, so I'm going to be really, 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 really careful with it because, as you can see, it's being held together very eloquently. So, it is Hunches in Bunches by Dr. Seuss. So, here we go. And like I said, I have to be really careful with this book. So here's, I assume, some hunches in some bunches. In case anybody didn't know what those were. I didn't know what those were.
Are you ready to take your education to the next level? Then click on the side.
Hunches in
State
bunches.
University offers more than 200 top-tier degree
Oh my
programs.
gosh, why ads? I did not upgrade Pandora yet because I am broke. So we have to listen to advertisements. Sorry, guys.
And I just graduated with my degree from Arizona State University. I chose ASU because I received
like I said, if you want to torture your friends or drink along, please share this video. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I just go live, share funny stuff, get drunk, and read to you. So this is as best as I can do. Do you ever sit and fidget when you don't know what to do? Everybody gets the fidgets, even me and you. And today was quite an awful day for me and my poor pup. My trouble was I had a mind, but I couldn't make it up. I think that's most of us right now, right? That's like most of us. I don't have a dog here, but I have dogs at home. I am so glad someone's drinking with me. That makes me feel like less of an alcoholic. Cheers, thank you. Okay. It's awfully, awfully awful when you can't make up your mind. Do you kick a football or sit on your behind? Do you want to go out skating, fly a kite, or climb a tree? Do you want to eat pizza, take a bath, or watch TV? Oh, you get so many hunches. You don't ever quite. If the hunch is a wrong hunch, then the wrong hunch might be right. Oh boy. I'm only like half a glass deep, guys, and I'm already slurring the words. This is going to be great. This is going to be a good show. There I was, inside the house, so fuddled up I couldn't shout. When I got a hunch, a happy hunch, that I shouldn't be, but out. But before I could follow that happy hunch, a voice snapped, "Don't you dare!" Oh, by the way, I think I forgot to show the last couple of pages here. Oh my gosh. Here's a very, this is most of us in quarantine. I think that's literally like the world right now. That's like all 8 billion of us right now. Look at that dog. He's so sad. I hope none of our dogs are at home looking like that. My dogs are not looking like that. They think this is great. And then here he is out in the wilderness. before I could follow that happy hunch, a voice snapped, "Don't you dare." I already read this, but I'm going to do it again. And a real tough hunch informed me, "You're not going anywhere." "There is homework to be done, bub. Sit your pants down in that chair." That guy looks so angry. Look at him. Look at that dude. Good Lord. And so I did. I sat me down. But soon as I got sat, a better hunch, he came and yanked off the homework hunch's hat. The better hunch said, "We'll head downtown. We'll pick up your good friend James, and together we'll trot some real cool spot, and we'll play a few video games." I love that they mentioned video games in a Dr. Seuss book. Does anybody else, really appreciate that? Because I love that. So, of course, that's what I started to do, but a sour hunch came and spoiled it. "Your bicycle's rusting up," he yapped. "Get yourself out back and oil it." True story, I can't ride a bike. I love that they got tiger stripe hats. These hunches are styling, man. I'm getting a lot of messages from people, but I cannot read them right now because 1, I'm reading books, and 2, I'm a little inebriated. Can someone get a hold of Bonnie Trubiartes, and get her set up on here? Bonnie, I'm gonna try and get someone. Oh my gosh, I'm live, yo. Go find me. Someone help Bonnie. Someone help others. Help other people. I don't know how to do this stuff. Oh, hi, Bonnie. Good. Okay. So where were we? He was gonna oil his bike. By now, my mind was so mixed up, I really didn't know if I wanted to go to the barber shop or Boise, Idaho. Then a very odd hunch upset me when he asked me loud and clear, "Do you think it might be helpful if you went to the bathroom, dear?" Maybe someone has to poop. Before I could even answer him, a new voice interrupted. "That mind of yours," I heard him say, "a frightfully gat-flucted. Your mind is murky mushy. Will you ever make it up, or won't you? If you won't, you are a won'ter. Do you understand, or don't you? If you don't, you are a don'ter. You're a canter if you can't. I would really like to help you, but you're hopeless, so I shan't." Bonnie, you better be giving my niece a big love from me, because I miss her dearly, even though I got all my vaccinations, just because of her. Then the spookish hunch suggested I go 4 ways all at once. But I didn't fall for that once. I am not that dumb a dunce. I knew where I would end up if I tried a thing like that. Oop, I gotta show the picture. Let me show the picture. I'm being so careful with this book, you guys. I'm trying so hard to be very careful with this book. That is quite the hat. BT dubs. Super. Most likely on some dead-end road in West Jehoshaphat. Oh, Tom, you're hell yeah right. There's definitely some kind of book-related tattoo coming out of this. You and me, bud. I was much too smart for that four-way hunch, but the next thing I knew, I was following a nowhere hunch. A real dumb thing to do. Everybody sometimes does it, even me and even you. I followed him in circles till we tore the rug right through. There's a hole in the rug. And then I heard a punch laugh. You're a stupid schlump. That way to go is not around. The way to go is up. That guy kind of looks like he's giving the finger, like while he's like being like deuces.
Warmer weather means more fun time.
Right?
It also means more bugs, like fleas and ticks.
Bye.
Don't forget to help protect your pets with Frontline Plus for dogs and Frontline Plus for cats. It's easy to apply.
That seemed to make a lot of sense. I even took my chair. I just knew I'd make my mind up if I had some fresh air.
And flea and tick protection. Trusted for over 20 years. Find out where to buy Frontline products at frontline.com today.
He's going up the stairs.
At the UPS store, we want you to know our doors are open, and we're ready to help you any way we can. The UPS store is...
Does everybody else love the Pandora ads as much as I do?
Printing, packing, mailing, notarizing, postering, mailboxing, or...
But the up hunch I had followed was a phony and a fake.
The UPS
Way to top of me...
everything you need. And of course, shipping.
Way up top, I met a down hunch. And he signed, for goodness sake. You should never trust an up hunch. You've made a big mistake. Carolyn, if you're asking me for my address, I'm going to give it to you like right now so you can just write it down because I can't type this to you right now. But my address to my house is 1245 West Rosewood Court in Chandler, 85224. And I fully expect somebody to send me a book because I'm kind of running out of books. I mean, not like I'm running out of books. I mean, like I'm running out of like entertaining books, you know, like ones with big pictures and stuff. So. Just think, I am the entertainment while your children are out of school. Me. This is what you get in quarantine. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, I gotta show this before I even read it. Look at this, guys. Crazy. Okay. I'll read it now. Then things got really out of hand. Wild hunches in big bunches were scraping all around me, throwing crunchy hunches punches. Punches. Somebody, for the love of God, send me a book. And some super hunch was yelling, "Make your mind! Get it done! Only you can make up your mind. You are the only one." One of me could never do it, and quite suddenly I knew the job like that done would take more of me, like two. He doubled, like the Doublemint twins. Does anybody remember the Doublemint twins? Am I that old? Am I showing my age? And maybe even more of me, like three of me or four of me. This guy is duplicating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's way more than 4, guys. There's more than 4 here. One of them's sleepy, look. He's tired. We're almost to the end of the book. I have more books. I have a pop-up book, you guys. It took an awful lot of me. It took a lot of yelling. It took a lot of shoving and hard bargaining and selling, and all talked and the hunches over. Whoa. We all talked the hunches over, up and down and through and through. We argued and we bargued and we decided what to do. I guess that's them barguing. And finally followed a munch hunch, the best hunch of the bunch. I followed him into the kitchen and had 6 hot dogs for lunch. Like most of us. Well, it looks like, after all was said and done, the hunches of bunches and bunches of hunches decided to just have lunch. And that concludes Hunches in Bunches by Dr. Seuss. If anybody wants to pick that book up, if you loved it as much as I did, that's what it's called. Anyways, is anybody else drinking along with me? Are you drinking wine or beer or cocktails this time in the afternoon? It's 6:25 my time, but I'll take whatever time. I may have to get more wine. And Chicken Pig is still here. Und Party Bird. If anybody doesn't know, because like 4 people will get this joke, the chicken is the ultimate party bird in the German culture, which is why I'm wearing my German costume and my all my feathers and flowers. And it's light up. I don't know if you can see, but it's got little lights in it. It's really cute. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna save the pop-up book for last because that looks like the coolest book, and I really want to save that for the end of the evening. And you should stick around for it. So, right now we're going to do the Berenstain Bears, which I have covered in last week's edition. That it's often misspelled, even though it's said Berenstain, it's Berenstain. And for those of you with the Mandela effect, I want you to see it's the Berenstain, S-T-A-I-N, Bears, not Berenstain, which I feel would make them way more German for this effect. Und Party, ja? Ja? Anyways, we're gonna do Berenstain Bears in the dark. And it's dedicated to being afraid of the dark doesn't just happen to you. It happens sometimes to little bears, too. Little tiny bear. The Berenstain Bears in the dark. Brother Bear, said Sister impatiently, are you going to take all day to pick your books? Sister and Brother Bear were at the Little Bear Country Library. Sister had already chosen her books and was waiting at the checkout desk. Hold your horses, said Brother. I'm looking for a good mystery. And there they are at the library. And here I am drinking. Sister Bear usually took out storybooks and books about nature and sometimes books of poems. Brother liked those too, but lately he'd become interested in mysteries, especially spooky ones. Hey, this one looks good, he said, finally. Okay, let's check out. Said Sister, looking at the cover. It was called The Case of the Crying Cave. It looks scary to me. Does that guy look like Jeffrey Dahmer or what? Just saying. Say, this is really good, said Brother later that evening when the Bear family had settled down for some reading. Would you like me to read it to you? Asked his sister. Or he asked Sister. Sister was looking at the storybook with about 3 kittens who were arguing about who was the prettiest. And it was A little boring. Are you scared? Teased brother. Of course not, said sister. She left her book on the floor and climbed onto a bench beside him. The mystery began quickly. It told about some Bear Scouts who were on an overnight campout. When the scouts discovered a dark, secret cave, Brother's mystery began a little exciting. And when the cave began to cry and wail, it was anything but quiet. Woo! Cried the deep, dark, mysterious cave. Red Brother with a lot of expression. Woo! Stop, said Sister, putting her fingers in her ears. That's enough. And she went back to her storybook. Scaredy bear, teased Brother Bear. And that's quite enough of that, added Papa Bear, looking up from his paper. At the cubs' bedtime, Papa and Mama said goodnight, turned off the light, and left the cubs in the unusual sleepy darkness. Outside the treehouse, they had Outside the treehouse, the bright, busy sounds of the day had given way to a soft, soothing sounds of the night. The quiet conversation of frogs and toads, the soft cry of owl, the sigh of the night wind. And if you listen very hard, you could almost hear the softest sound of all, the sound of lightning bugs switching their lights on and off, on and off. But inside the treehouse, Sister Bear wasn't even beginning to fall asleep. The night was dark, didn't seem the least bit quiet and sleepy. In fact, it seemed like a spooky darkness of a scary cave. And the friendly old chest of drawers and funny clothes tree that Papa had made didn't seem so friendly and funny. They seemed more like cave creatures. So when Brother decided to tease her a little bit more by making a wailing noise, a really spooky wailing noise, it came to quite a scare. Mama, Papa, she cried, hurry, come quick. She does not look happy. Not in the least. And come quickly they did. Papa rushed in the dark room and tripped over the clothes tree. Mama rushed after Papa and tripped over him. And the commotion sister fell out of bed and landed on both of them. Then Brother, who had started it all with his spooky wail, turned on the light. What a mess! Sister, still scared, was holding on to Papa. Papa was holding on to his toe he had stubbed, and Mama was looking for the nightcap she had lost in the confusion. All three of them were pretty annoyed with Brother Bear. When you look at the pictures when you're doing this and they're backwards and their faces are just absolutely ridiculous. It's hysterical. It turned out to be a very long night in the bear's tree house. Papa and Mama tried to explain that there was nothing to be afraid of in the dark except maybe running into the clothes tree and stubbing your toe. But it didn't do any good. Sister absolutely refused to go to sleep with the light off, and Brother positively insisted that he couldn't fall asleep with the light on. Who else has had this conversation? Possibly with a significant other. Not happy. The next morning, the bear family was very sleepy-eyed. Boy, said Brother, yawning, I sure don't want to go through another night like that. Neither do I, said Papa, and I think I have an idea that might help. He took Sister's hand. Come with me, he said. Where we're going, she wanted to know. Up to the attic. The attic? The attic? But it's dark in the attic, even in the daytime, I know, said Papa. But there's something you should know. Anyway, there's nothing so special about the dark. It's just a part of nature. Like the light, it's your imagination that makes the dark so spooky. Sometimes, what's imagination? Asked Sister. Imagination is what makes us think that chests of drawers and clothes tree are cave creatures. I wish I didn't have one, said Sister. Don't say that, don't. Hi. Hold on. Don't say that, said Papa. A lively imagination is one of the best things a cub can have. It's imagination that lets us paint pictures, make up poems, invent inventions. The trick is to take charge of your imagination and not let it take charge of you. When they got up to the attic, Papa began to rummage through boxes looking for something. If you're still with me, I'm so glad you're here because I hate drinking alone. Sister started to follow Papa's advice and not let her imagination take take charge. And it worked. A spooky shape turned out to be the shadow of some old books. What looked like a giant was really some piled up furniture. Here it is, said Papa, my old nightlight. The one I used when I was a cub and had a little trouble falling asleep in the dark. Sister couldn't quite believe that her big, powerful Papa was ever afraid of the dark. Oh, sure, said Papa. Most of us are at one time or another. Josh, plug it in. It's called technology. You know about it. How about reading the rest of the case of the Crying Cave? Sister asked Brother later that day. Are you sure you want me to? Sure. I want to see how it turns out, she insisted. When it turned out that that there was nothing very spooky about the terrible wailing noise, it was caused by a window blowing across an opening in the roof cave. Like the noise you make when you blow across the top of a bottle. Ooh, I should try that. It's the top of a glass.
We understand that some things are made to keep, so keep them with us. Reserve
It's
your
not the
space
same.
today at cubesmart.com.
Sister was a little disappointed.
Don't drive much. You can save on a lot. Like Phillips. New tires. Even car washing. So why shouldn't you save on insurance? With new pay-per-mile car insurance from Allstate, you get great coverage at a low price based on your safe driving. And if you don't drive much, you don't pay much. You're in good hands.
Tap the banner to learn more about new pay-per-mile car insurance.
Why? Asked Brother. Because, she said, I was hoping the wailing would be really spooky, scary monster. As she leaned down from her bunk over the brothers and made a spooky, scary face. Cut that out, said Brother. Then Sister went right up to sleep, but Brother lay awake for some time, listening to the owl hoots and thinking that maybe he'd had enough mysteries for just a little while. Oh my gosh. So that was the end of the Berenstain Bears in the Dark. Well, I think I have just enough time for one more, and then I'm going to do the pop-up book. Stick around for the pop-up book. It is the apex of this evening. It's super cool. It's about pirates, guys. Who doesn't love pirates? And I'm wearing a German costume. Uns big German party, ja? Okay, here we go. Berenstain Bears, Trouble at School. I think this one hits home for a lot of people right now because everyone's at homeschool, and good luck to that. I don't have to be, but you know who you are. Anyways, Berenstain Bears, Trouble at School. Though Brother and Sister Bear were usually very healthy, the occasional caught cold. So when Brother came home from the school one day sneezing and wheezing, Mama Bear knew just what to do. She took his temperature, tucked him into bed, and went right to the phone and called Dr. Grizzly. Sneezing and wheezing and temperature of 101. Dr. Grizzly, keep him in bed, give him plenty of liquids, and keep him home from school until his temperature is back to normal. Mama followed the doctor's orders, and little by little, Brother's temperature began to go down. I feel a little bit better, he said. May I get out of bed? I'm afraid not, said Mama. The doctor wants you to stay in bed. This we can all relate to. But there's no reason why your stay shouldn't be as pleasant as possible, Papa. She called. Would you bring the portable TV? I feel like this is very relatable, guys. Like, it's really relatable. The portable had a remote control, and pretty soon Brother was having a fine time switching from one cartoon to another. When he tried the TV, he got tired of his TV. He got out his comic books, and when he was tired of those. Mama brought him his dinosaur collection. There was no doubt about it, except for the sniffles. Brother Bear was having a pretty good time. So when Sister Bear brought home a folder of schoolwork for him, he hardly looked at it. He was having too much fun having fun. Once again, if there are any children's books you really want me to read, you can just send me one. I bet it costs $2 on shipping. But while he was at home having fun, his fellow students at school were hard at work. In the classroom where Teacher Bob was teaching a new math lesson, they had learned to add, subtract, and multiply, and they were even learning how to divide. On the soccer field, while Coach Bruin was getting the team ready for the big game against Beartown, Cousin Freddie, he called, "Take Brother's place for us forward. He's out sick." "Yes, sir," said Freddie. It was the chance he had been waiting for, 'cause Freddie is a traitor. But it wasn't until Brother was all better and ready to go back to school that he remembered the folder at work. "Oh well," he thought, "I'll study it on the bus." But that's where he heard about Freddie and the soccer team and was so upset he forgot all about it, 'cause his cousin is awful. Who does this? When Coach Bruin had extra practice during early gym, Brother became even more upset. It wasn't easy. Watching Freddie take his place on the team. Then, when Brother got back to class, Teacher Bob said, "I certainly hope you studied that work folder, because I'm going to have a quiz." "A quiz?" said Brother. "Of course," said Teacher Bob. And he handed out the quiz papers. Brother might have managed even then. He was good with numbers and might have worked things out, only he'd been able to concentrate. But all he could think about was Cousin Freddie out there kicking the field goals while he sat on the bench. The quiz was a disaster. Not only did Brother get every problem wrong, but Teacher Bob wrote on the paper, "Very poor. Must be signed by a parent." Brother didn't know which was worse, the soccer mess or the quiz disaster. What would he say to Mama and Papa if they asked him how things had gone at school? He was so busy feeling sorry for himself on the bus ride home that he didn't notice his sister was coming down with a bad case of the sneezes and the wheezes, because colds are contagious. Wash your hands. Stay at home. Watch me read books drunk. I'll get you through this. "Oh dear," said Mama when she saw his sister. "You've caught Brother's cold." into bed with you. She and Papa were so busy attending his sister that they forgot to ask Brother how things went at school, and he did not tell them. I keep forgetting to show you guys the pictures. There's poor Sister Bear with COVID-19. It's a thing. And the next morning, the school bus came. Brother didn't get on the bus. He hid in the tall grass until it was out of sight. The squirrels and the bluebirds were puzzled. Brother was usually happy and cheerful, but this morning, he looked unhappy and angry too. "Phooey!" Brother shouted, kicking the stone, but kicking the stone reminded him of soccer, and that just made him feel angrier. The bluebirds took off and the squirrels scattered. "Phooey on soccer!" he shouted, stomping off through the woods. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Grasshoppers hopped, toads took stock still, and pretended they were bumps on a log. "Phooey on school!" Brother shouted, stomping out of the woods. Pansies hid their faces. Ladybugs flew away. And he said, reaching into his school bag, "Phooey on division!" He had come to the top of a big hill. He took out the quiz, folded it into a paper airplane, and sailed it high into the air. The hill overlooked a swampy, overgrown bog. As Brother watched the quiz circle and swoop, he noticed something about the corner of his eye. A familiar house at the edge of the bog. Grizzly Gramps was working on a ship model when he heard a knock. Gran was making cookies. They weren't expecting visitors, but they certainly weren't expecting Brother, especially during school hours. It didn't take long for the whole story to come out. Gramps and Gran listened quietly as Brother told them about the coughing cold, the folder of work, the soccer mess, the quiz disaster, the missed bus, and the paper airplane. "Come with me, young feller," said Gramps. "I want to show you something." Gramps took Brother by the hand and led him deep into the bog. "There," he said, "that's what I want to show you." It was a very old wagon sunk almost out of sight in a muddy pond. "How did it get there?" asked Brother. "It was easy," said Gramps. "I went to a lot of trouble getting that old wagon into this swamp," he said with a twinkle in his eye. He said, "just the way you're getting over your head in school. It just happened a long time ago when I took the wrong turn. Just the way you did when you did study that schoolwork," said Teacher Bob, sent home. "Well, instead of admitting my mistake and backing up, I just pushed ahead until I was so deep that there was no getting out." "And you lost the wagon?" said Brother. "Yep," said Gramps. "But I learned a valuable lesson. If you find yourself on the wrong road, don't just keep going until you're in over your head. Back up and start over in the right road." "What am I going to do?" asked Brother. I think we can manage, but first look over there, Gramps said, pointing. There it was, the paper airplane, caught in a blueberry bush. Bush. Oh, said Gramps. It just sort of folded a bit. That's when he brought out Gramps' cookies. There were 10 of them. Let's see now. He said there are 5 of us counting Sister. So how many cookies do we each get? 2, of course, said Brother, dividing them up. Don't look now, young feller, said Gramps with a wink. But you just divided by 5. Is that all there is to dividing? Said Brother. That's all, said Gramps. Come along, said Mama. There's no nonsense in her no-nonsense voice. No-nonsense voice. Come along. Where are we going? Asked Brother. To school, Mama said, as they got in the car. But it's so late, protested Brother. It's never too late to correct a mistake, Mama said, and off they went. Words to live by. It's never too late to correct a mistake. Brother got to class just in time for the restart. The class hasn't done very well in division quiz, so Teacher Bob was giving them a second chance. Brother really concentrated and did much better. And that afternoon, he got a second chance at soccer, too. It was the day of the big game against Beartown, and things weren't going very well. Brother said, Coach Bruin, I want you to go out. Oh, my gosh. Brother, said Coach Bruin, I want you to go out for Freddie. I don't think he's quite ready for the first team. Glad to help, Coach, Brother said as he ran out to the field. You know what they say, it's never too late to correct a mistake. And that ends the Berenstain Bears' trouble with school. Or at school. Whatever. Cheers. I see a few of you are left hanging with me, which is awesome. Thank you for sticking around. Me in my German costume. Yeah, with my trusty party chicken with a pig nose. Don't mind that. But yeah, even though we are at the party with the party lights, yeah, I am just drinking wine with no stein because I have no stein because I don't know where one is. But yeah. Anyways, this is the book I hope you've all been sticking around for because I'm excited. It's a freaking pop-up book about pirates. So this book is called When the Wild Pirates Go Sailing, a pop-up adventure book by Keys Morbeck and Carla Didges. Anyways, this is the last book of the evening. So I'm so glad that you stuck around long enough to watch me drink this glass of wine. I already had like 3 before we started this. If you're drinking along with me, we're drinking every time that I mess up words, which is pretty easy to do. But here we go. So here starts the Pirate Pop-Up book. When the wild pirates go sailing, they often fish for shark. No fierce sea creature frightens them in daylight or the dark. So there's a big shark. I know that there's a song called Baby Shark, but I don't know it, so I won't pretend to. But if you know that song, it's instantly stuck in your head. And the pirates looking for the shark. An octopus won't panic them with the many legs he's got, 'cause when the pirates get a hold of one, they tie him into knots. If you can't tell, here's all the different so there's the octopus into knots. And the pirates looking very happy, but mind you, they're stoked. This walrus has 2 long, sharp tusks. He's strong and tough and big. But far from being afraid of her, they make her dance and jig. I feel like I have to spend a little bit longer on this because you have to see like everything like behind and the fact that it's huge. I love the eyes on this thing. This polar bear's quite angry and fierce as he can be, 'cause when they hit his icy home, they stole his pot of tea. Oh. So this one's missing the pop-up, guys. Sorry. You'll have to use your imagination on this one. Late one night, a great green monster rises from the sea. His fearsome face make them laugh and carry on with glee. Like I said, there's no monster. This wasn't my doing. I don't know where the monster went. I can probably make a sea monster face, so like, I'm the sea monster for this portion of the book. See, there's no monster. I'm sorry. Sorry, I don't know what happened to the sea monster. Sea monster. There we go. Sea monster. Okay. I don't know what happened to this one either, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know. I didn't check this book out before I started. There appears to be... Oh boy. Okay, hold on. It's missing a portion, but I can make up for the rest. But when the pirates catch a sawfish, they finally met their untimely match. Because that's when they learn to swim. For them, it's down the hatch. You can kind of see this. I don't know where the rest of this book is, guys. I'm trying. It's got half a saw. It's like half there.
The game at Albertsons and Safeway is now 4 weeks into the game. It's better than ever, with over $250 million in prizes and money-saving offers.
That was the end of the book.
Playing, you still have time. Earn
that was the end of the book. Here, let me show you something. Here we go. Octopus time.
Online or on the app for more chances to win. No purchase necessary. See game rules at shopplaywin.com. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro and is used with permission. Hasbro is not a sponsor of this promotion.
So, I didn't realize that half of this book was missing when I started it. So we're just gonna like show the pieces that are still here. Anyways, that was the conclusion. Oh, walrus. That was I am the walrus. That was the conclusion of when the wild pirates go sailing. I said it earlier in the video. If you wanted to send me a book, if you're just dying to hear some children's book that maybe you have or would like to send me, message me. I'll give you my address. I don't care. And send me or drop me off a book or two that I can read. This Sunday is Easter. And I have things. I have things to wear, and I will be reading, and we'll have the party lights going, the disco lights. Party because Jesus. And I will be reading more books for Easter. I have a whole stack of books over here. I have some dinosaur books. There's like a lot of dinosaur books here. So we'll be reading a few of those. Anyways, Sunday is Easter, and I will have a whole new costume and a whole new batch of books to read with more lights and more party and maybe even the party chicken because party for Easter. Anyways, quarantine doesn't have to be boring, guys. I'm here to get drunk and read you books every week, bi-weekly, because I love you. But I'm almost out of wine. That means it's almost out of time. And if you want to send me a book or drop me off a book at my house between now and Sunday, I will read it and I will say who sent it to me because you're awesome. Anyways, I hope you really enjoyed my German costume, my full German costume with my light up crown and my disco lights and the party chicken because who doesn't like the party chicken? Should I leave you with the party chicken? I feel like I should. Anyways, I love you guys. Bye guys, I'll see you Easter Sunday. Same bad place, same bad time. Mwah. I love you, bye.